Something happened last Tuesday morning at my local Walmart that I honestly wasn't expecting. I was pushing my cart down aisle 12, the one where the seasonal clearance and the yellow rollback tags live, and I noticed something. 3 different seniors, all shopping alone, all pulling the exact same item off the shelf. I watched a fourth walk past, stop, come back, and grab 2 of them, and then I looked up at the little yellow rollback tag underneath, and I understood exactly what was happening. That item was on rollback, meaning Walmart had temporarily dropped the price, and the shelves were almost empty by 10 a.m. on a weekday. This wasn't a Black Friday scene. This was a quiet, ordinary Tuesday. So I did what I always do. I went home, I made a list, and I spent the next 3 days walking through my local Walmart, checking rollback tags, comparing them to prices at CVS, Walgreens, Kroger, and Aldi, and figuring out which ones actually matter for someone on a fixed income. What I found is what I want to share with you today. 12 specific Walmart rollback items that seniors are quietly rushing to grab this week. And I want to be honest with you up front. Not all of these are perfect. Some of them have real downsides I'll walk you through, because you deserve the full picture, not a sales pitch. Stick with me through the whole list, because item number 9 is the one where I personally saw the biggest savings, over $180 a year on a single everyday product that a lot of seniors use daily. And if you find even one of these helpful, tap the like button below. That's the small thing that helps YouTube show this video to more folks over 65 who could genuinely use the information. Let's start with number 1. Number 1 on this list is Great Value Old-Fashioned Oats, the large 42-ounce canister. On rollback at my local Walmart, it's priced at $3.24. The equivalent Quaker Oats canister at Kroger or Publix runs between $5.48 and $6.29, depending on the week, and the steel-cut premium versions at specialty grocers climb over $8. So for the same rolled oats, grown in the same states, processed the same way, you're looking at roughly a 40 to 50% savings by going with the Great Value label. For a senior managing cholesterol, blood sugar, or just trying to get a reliable, filling breakfast on a Social Security budget, this matters more than the small dollar amount suggests. A single canister lasts most people about 6 weeks. Over a year, that's a difference of roughly $22. Not life-changing, but it's the kind of small swap that adds up when you make 10 of them. The honest downside is that Great Value oats are a slightly thinner cut than Quaker. If you like a chewier texture, you may notice the difference in overhead cooking. It's not lower quality, just cut a little finer for faster preparation. Bonus tip: skip the flavored instant packets in the same aisle. They're twice the price per serving and loaded with sugar. A 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon and a small drizzle of honey turns a bowl of plain oats into something that tastes like a treat for a fraction of the cost. Now let's move on to number 2, which is the item I saw disappearing off the shelf the fastest in my last visit. Number 2 is the Great Value Frozen Mixed Vegetables, the larger family-size bag, usually 40 to 48 ounces. On rollback, right now it's around $4.48. The comparable Bird's Eye or Green Giant family bag at Kroger or Safeway runs between $6.99 and $8.49. And if you buy fresh, forget it. The equivalent weight in fresh mixed vegetables at the produce counter runs closer to $12, and half of it spoils before you can use it. That's a real 40 to 45% savings on rollback. Plus, you're eliminating the waste that fresh vegetables cause for a 1 or 2 person household. Here's why this matters for seniors specifically. If you live alone, or you and your spouse are cooking for 2, fresh produce becomes a slow, quiet enemy. You buy it with good intentions, and then half of it turns in the crisper drawer before you finish it. A large bag of frozen mixed vegetables lets you take out exactly the portion you need, seal it back up, and use it over 4 or 6 weeks with 0 waste. And frozen at the peak of the season is often more nutritious than fresh vegetables that have traveled 2,000 miles. The honest downside is texture. Frozen vegetables never quite match the crispness of fresh, especially when steamed. They're at their best in soups, stir-fries, and casseroles. If you're planning a fresh salad, this isn't your product. Bonus tip: keep 2 of these bags in the freezer at all times. Whenever you make soup, dump a cup in during the last 5 minutes of cooking. It's the easiest way to add real vegetables to your diet without any prep work. Number 3 on this list is something almost every senior household uses, and it's one of the quietest ways stores overcharge. Number 3 is Equate Denture Cleanser Tablets, the 90-count box. On Rollback at Walmart, this is currently $3.98. The name brand equivalent, Polydent 3-minute whitening tablets, 84 count, runs $6.29 at CVS and around $6.79 at Walgreens. The specialty overnight cleansers climb above $8 for the same count. That's roughly a 40% savings for what is, by any independent lab test, the same active ingredient formulation. For a senior wearing full or partial dentures, this is one of those daily use items where the small savings compound quickly. If you use one tablet a night, a 90-count box lasts you 3 months. Over a year, that's a difference of about $9 to $12. Small on its own, but again, this is a category where the branding does more work than the chemistry. The honest downside is the tablet dissolves a touch slower than Polydent. If you're used to the 2 or 3 minute effervescent action, expect closer to 5 with Equate. Nothing wrong with the result, just be patient. Bonus tip: don't rinse your dentures with hot tap water before soaking. Hot water can slowly warp the acrylic base over months of use. Use lukewarm or cool water, and your dentures will hold their fit longer. This is one of those tips your dentist may not have mentioned, and it costs you nothing to change. Number 4 is one I hesitated to include on this list, because it's not the most exciting item, but for the right person, it could genuinely prevent a very bad day. Number 4 is a non-slip bath mat with suction grips, the Mainstays brand at Walmart. On Rollback right now, they're around $5.98. The comparable safety grip version at Bed Bath & Beyond or the medical supply catalogs runs $14 to $22, and the premium senior branded versions climb above $30 for what is functionally the same rubber mat with suction cups underneath. That's a 60 to 70% savings on the same product. And this is the one category I'd tell you to buy without overthinking. Falls in the bathroom are the #1 cause of serious injury for adults over 65, and the tub or shower floor is where most of those falls happen. A $5 mat is quiet, cheap insurance. Here's why this matters. As we age, our balance recovery gets slower. That's not a criticism, it's biology. A wet porcelain or fiberglass surface offers no traction to a bare foot. A textured mat with real suction grips changes that calculation completely. The honest downside is that the suction cups lose their grip over time, especially in hard water areas. Plan to replace it once a year, and check the suction weekly by pressing down firmly and trying to lift it. If it comes up easily, it's time for a new one. Bonus tip: while you're in the bath aisle, look at the small grab bar suction cups on the same shelf. They're not a substitute for a properly installed grab bar, but for shorter guest visits or a rental, they add a real margin of safety for about $8. Now let's move to number 5, which is a pantry item that's genuinely one of the best protein per dollar deals in the whole store right now. Number 5 is Great Value Chunk Chicken Breast in Water, the larger 12.5-ounce can. Rollback price is $2.58. The Kirkland version at Costco works out to about $2.90 mL per equivalent can when you buy the 6-pack, and the Swanson name brand equivalent at Kroger is $4.29 for a smaller 10-ounce can. So you're getting more chicken for less money and roughly a 40% savings against the leading name brand. Here's why this is a serious pantry item for a senior. Protein intake often quietly drops as we age, because cooking a full chicken breast or a piece of fish for one person feels like too much effort. Canned chicken solves that. It's shelf-stable, it's ready in seconds, and one can gives you 2 full servings of clean protein for under $3. The honest downside is texture. Canned chicken is drier and stringier than freshly cooked chicken. It works best when it's mixed into something: a salad, a soup, a casserole, or classic chicken salad with a small spoon of mayo and celery. On its own, out of the can, it's not a satisfying experience. Bonus tip: a can of chicken drained and mixed with a spoon of plain Greek yogurt, a squeeze of lemon, and a pinch of black pepper makes a chicken salad that costs less than $2 per serving and is genuinely delicious on toast or crackers. It's the easiest lunch you'll ever make. Number 6 is a small comfort item that seniors tell me they wish they'd started using years earlier. Number 6 is Equate Mild Compression Socks, the 2-pack in the pharmacy section. On Rollback right now, they're $8.98 for the pair. The comparable name brand compression socks, Copper Fit, Trueform, or the ones sold at medical supply stores, run $18 to $28 for the same 15 to 20 millimeters mercury mild compression rating. And the ones marketed specifically to seniors in the same medical grade range, climb above $35 per pair. That's a 60 to 65% savings for what is, functionally, the same grade of compression sock. For a senior who stands for long stretches, sits in a car or a plane for hours, or has any tendency toward mild swelling in the ankles at the end of the day, mild compression can make a real difference in how your legs feel by evening. This isn't medical treatment. If you have serious venous issues, please talk to your doctor about proper medical grade compression. But for everyday mild support, the Equate version does the job. The honest downside is durability. The Equate elastic loses about 10 to 15% of its compression after 30 to 40 washes. The name brand versions hold their compression a bit longer. If you're wearing them daily, plan to replace them once a year. Bonus tip: put your compression socks on first thing in the morning before your legs have any chance to swell. Getting them on later in the day, over already tired legs, is much harder and feels less supportive. And by the way, if you've made it this far in the video, you're already ahead of most Walmart shoppers your age. Because most people never learn what the store actually offers for their specific needs. They just walk in and grab whatever's at eye level, which is exactly where the higher margin name brands are placed. The next 6 items on this list get progressively more valuable. Item number 9 is where we hit the biggest per year savings on the entire list. Over $180 for a single product that a lot of seniors use daily. Item number 12 is a category most people are too embarrassed to discuss, but it's where the yearly dollar difference is the largest of anything I found. So stick with me. Number 7 is Equate Arthritis Pain Relief Cream, the 4-ounce tube. On Rollback right now it's $4.98. The comparable name brand is Bengay Ultra Strength, which runs $8.99 at Walgreens, or Asper Cream with lidocaine, which is $11.49 for a similar tube. The specialty senior branded pain creams climb over $14. That's roughly a 45 to 55% savings for the same 4% menthol formulation. For a senior managing everyday joint stiffness, knees, shoulders, hands, lower back, this is one of the pharmacy aisle's best value swaps. If you use pain cream 2 or 3 times a week, one tube lasts about 6 weeks, and over a year you'd save roughly $30 to $50 by choosing the Equate version. The honest downside is scent. The menthol smell is stronger in Equate than in some name brands. If that bothers you, look for the no scent or clinical versions on the same shelf. Walmart carries both. And I want to say this honestly, pain cream is a comfort tool, not a treatment. If you're using it every day, all day, please talk to your doctor about what's actually going on. It could be something simple to address that no cream will fix. Bonus tip: apply the cream, then cover the area with a soft, warm cloth for 5 minutes. The gentle heat helps the menthol penetrate deeper, and the relief lasts noticeably longer. Number 8 is a health item where reading the label is more important than reading the price tag. Number 8 is Great Value Senior Complete Multivitamin, the 200-count bottle. On Rollback at Walmart right now, it's $8.24. The comparable Centrum Silver 200 count runs $22.99 at CVS and $19.49 at Walgreens. Even at Costco in the Kirkland brand equivalent, the per tablet cost works out higher. That's a 60 to 65% savings for a formulation that meets the same USP verified standards. For a senior on a fixed income who takes a daily multivitamin, this is one of the cleanest recurring savings on the entire list. 200 tablets is roughly a 6 to 7 month supply. Over a year, at daily use, the difference against Centrum Silver is roughly $25 to $30. Now, here's where I want to be careful. A multivitamin does not replace a conversation with your doctor. If you're on prescription medications, particularly blood thinners, thyroid medication, or heart medications, some multivitamin ingredients can interact. Please, before you switch or start any daily supplement, bring the bottle to your next appointment and let your doctor look at it. 2 minutes of their time can prevent a real problem. The honest downside is that Great Value Senior Complete is a larger tablet. Some people have trouble swallowing it. If that's you, look at the gummy or chewable versions on the same shelf. They're $1 or $2 more, but still cheaper than name brand. Bonus tip: take your multivitamin with a meal that includes some fat. Even a spoon of peanut butter on toast counts. The fat-soluble vitamins in the formula, A, D, E, K, absorb dramatically better when your stomach has some fat to work with. Taking it on an empty stomach wastes a chunk of what you paid for. Now we're at number 9, and this is the item I mentioned in the beginning. This is the one where I personally saw the biggest annual dollar savings on the entire list. Number 9 is Great Value Adult Nutritional Shakes. The 6-pack, vanilla or chocolate. On Rollback right now, they're $6.98. The comparable Ensure Original 6-pack runs $12.49 at CVS and $12.99 at Walgreens. Boost 6-packs are $11.99. The specialty senior branded shakes at nutrition stores climb above $16 for the same 6-count. That's roughly a 45% savings on what is, ingredient by ingredient on the nutrition label, an extremely close formulation. Here's why this is the biggest saver on the list. If you use one nutritional shake per day, which is very common for seniors who struggle with appetite, are recovering from illness, or simply want a reliable calorie and protein source in the morning, you're going through about 5 6-packs a month. That's the difference of $25 to $30 a month against Ensure, which works out to $300 to $360 a year. Even if you only use one every other day, you're still saving over $180 a year on this single swap. Now, honesty time. The honest downside is real. Great Value nutritional shakes taste a touch chalkier than Ensure. Some people notice it, some don't. If you drink them cold and shake them well, the difference nearly disappears. But if you're used to Ensure and you're picky, try one first before you commit to a case. Also, please, if a doctor or nutritionist has specifically prescribed you Ensure or Boost for a medical reason, don't switch without asking. Some clinical situations require a specific formulation. This is a swap for the general senior who's using nutritional shakes as a supplement, not as prescribed nutrition. Bonus tip, chill them fully before drinking, and consider blending one with a small handful of frozen berries. It turns a functional shake into something that actually feels like a treat, at almost no extra cost. Number 10 is another pharmacy aisle item where the name brand markup is honestly hard to justify. Number 10 is Equate Omeprazole 20 mg tablets, the 42-count box. On Rollback at Walmart right now it's $9.48. The name brand equivalent is Prilosec OTC, and the same 20 mg dosage in a 42-count box runs $23.99 at CVS and $22.49 at Walgreens. That's a straight 60% savings for what is, chemically, the exact same molecule at the same dosage. The FDA requires generic OTC medications to demonstrate bioequivalence to the name brand, meaning the active ingredient is identical, absorbed the same way, in the same amount. For a senior who's been prescribed or recommended an OTC acid reducer for occasional heartburn, this is one of the largest per-box savings you'll find at Walmart. A 42-count box represents a 14-day course, and if you use one every 4 to 6 weeks, the annual savings against Prilosec OTC comes to roughly $75 to $100. The honest downside, and this one matters, is that omeprazole, whether Equate or Prilosec, is not meant for long-term daily use without medical supervision. Please, if you're taking an acid reducer more than a few weeks in a row, talk to your doctor. Long-term proton pump inhibitor use has known trade-offs, and there may be a simpler solution to what's causing the heartburn in the first place. Bonus tip, take it 30 to 60 minutes before your first meal of the day. Taking it with food or after a meal significantly reduces its effectiveness, which means half the dose is wasted, and you paid for the full one. Number 11 is the biggest single purchase item on this list, and it's one every senior should own. Number 11 is the Equate 4000 series automatic upper arm blood pressure monitor. On Rollback right now, it's $27.88. The comparable Omron 3 series runs $49.99 at CVS, and the Omron 5 series with Bluetooth climbs to $79. The medical supply store versions of the same basic upper arm cuff are $89 and up. That's roughly a 45 to 65% savings on a device that is, functionally, doing exactly the same job. Here's why this belongs in the home of every senior. Monitoring your blood pressure at home, between doctor visits, gives your doctor a far more accurate picture than the single reading they get in the office, which is often elevated just from the stress of being at the doctor. A $28 monitor pays for itself in the first month if it helps you and your doctor catch a trend that would otherwise be invisible. The honest downside is that the Equate cuff runs slightly smaller than the Omron. If you have larger arms, measure your upper arm at the widest point and compare it to the packaging before you buy. Some models list the compatible arm circumference on the side of the box. Also, a home monitor is not a replacement for your doctor. It's a tool that helps your doctor help you. Bring the readings, ideally at the same time each morning for a week, to your next appointment. Bonus tip: take 3 readings each morning, 1 minute apart, and record the second and third. The first one is always slightly off because your arm hasn't fully relaxed. This gives you a cleaner average and a more useful log for your doctor. Now we come to number 12, and this is a category most people don't want to talk about, but it's where the yearly savings are honestly the largest on this entire list. Number 12 is Equate Adult Incontinence Briefs, the large protective underwear pack. On Rollback at Walmart right now, the 26-count pack is $17.48. The comparable Depend Fit Flex product in the same size and count runs $28.99 at CVS, $27.49 at Walgreens, and above $30 at pharmacy specialty stores. That's a 40% savings for a product that, according to independent absorbency testing, performs within about 5% of the leading name brand. I want to be honest about why I put this last on the list. This is a product a lot of seniors are quietly buying, quietly overpaying for, and often too uncomfortable to discuss with anyone, even their own family. But the numbers here are the largest on the entire list. If you use 2 or 3 per day, you're going through roughly 3 to 4 packs per month. That's an annual difference against Depend of $300 to $500. This is real, meaningful, monthly money that stays in your pocket. The honest downside is fit. Depend has invested more in their contour cut, and some people find them more comfortable for all-day wear. Equate is a slightly straighter cut. If you're primarily using them overnight or at home, the difference is negligible. For active daytime wear, where fit under clothing matters more, try 1 pack of Equate first before you commit. Bonus tip: Walmart also sells the Equate booster pads that fit inside standard underwear. For mild daytime protection, those can extend the life of each brief and cut your monthly cost even further. They're on the same shelf. And with that, we're at the end of the list. So, quickly, let's run through the 12 items one more time so you can save this list. Number 1, Great Value Old-Fashioned Oats. Number 2, Great Value Frozen Mixed Vegetables in the family size bag. Number 3, Equate Denture Cleanser Tablets. Number 4, the non-slip bath mat with suction grips. Number 5, Great Value Chunk Chicken Breast in the large can. Number 6, Equate Mild Compression Socks. Number 7, Equate Arthritis Pain Relief Cream. Number 8, Great Value Senior Complete Multivitamin. Number 9, and this was the biggest per year saver, Great Value Adult Nutritional Shakes. Number 10, Equate Omeprazole. Number 11, the Equate Blood Pressure Monitor. And number 12, the item nobody wants to talk about, but where the yearly dollars are the largest, Equate Adult Incontinence Briefs. Now, my honest personal opinion: if I could only recommend 2 of these for a senior watching this video today, I'd pick number 9, the Nutritional Shakes, and number 12, the Incontinence Briefs. Not because the products are more exciting, but because the yearly dollar savings on those 2 items alone can easily total $400 to $700 a year for a regular user. Everything else on this list is a bonus. And here's the spending trap I want to warn you about, because I see this happen every single week at Walmart. Rollback tags are designed to make you feel urgency. They're bright yellow, they use the word rollback specifically because it sounds temporary, and they're often placed on items in high-visibility, eye-level spots. Please don't buy something just because it's on rollback. Only buy the items you are actually going to use anyway. A rollback on something you don't need isn't savings, it's spending. If this list was helpful to you, tap the like button below. It genuinely helps YouTube show this video to more seniors your age who could use the same information. And if you want more of this, one honest, careful, no-hype deep dive every week focused specifically on shoppers over 65, hit subscribe. I'm building this channel one video at a time, for us. Down in the comments, I want to hear from you on one specific question. Which of these 12 items are you already buying, and which one on this list surprised you the most? I read every comment, and your answers help me pick what to cover next. Take care of yourself, take care of your budget, and I'll see you in the next one.